Number two, we want to identify the target audience and the consumer. Identify the target audience and the consumer.
Yeah.
A lot of times we want to put the target audience and the consumer together.
Break that down.
But there are two different, sometimes they're the same, but a lot of times they're different.
Yeah.
The target audience.
Business for Gen Z. So I'll just start this off by saying you got the creativity.
Yes.
Use that creativity.
Yes.
You are at the stage of your life where you are, what I like to say is traveling light. Like you're traveling light. You're low on responsibilities, high on energy. Use that. You can, if you, when you're traveling light, you can go fast.
Right.
You can go fast. You can go start this business, see how it does. You can start that one. You can test out this philosophy. You can try to find your way. Like you have options. You can switch from this to this to this. And I'm not talking about being wishy-washy.
Right.
Just bouncing around. But I am talking about being intentional about you growing in your experiences. You have that opportunity right now because at some point when you're older, you're not going to be traveling light. You're going to get responsibilities. You're going to get opportunities that require you. You're going to be invested in them. And so if you want to go fast, you go light. But if you want to stay and sustain, you're gonna travel a little heavier because you got a reason to succeed. You got a reason to keep going, which is where your parents are, which is why they don't just move from this to this to this to this, because they're trying to take care of you or take care of whatever they're trying to take care of because it means something to them, and they have more responsibilities. Not to say that as a Gen Z student you don't have any responsibilities. You do have responsibilities. It's just that it's a little different for most students. You are traveling pretty light. Nobody's many times depending on you for their livelihood. And if they are, then yours is a little different. You still got the energy. You might not be traveling as light as far as responsibility, but you got the energy. Take advantage of those opportunities. You're going to have a lot of opportunities. Not gonna. You have a lot of opportunities right now simply because you are a student. As a student, people are more willing many times to give you a chance, an opportunity, an internship, a spot that they didn't even have before. They'll create a position for you. It just happens that way as a young person. So, that being said, take advantage. Be creative. Try some stuff. Take some opportunities and make something of it. These will be the things that you use when you're not traveling so light. The experiences you get. I've been preaching and speaking for 20 years now. Well, that started when I was 12. I was traveling light. I'm just preaching every month. I'm going. I'm moving. Like I'm just doing it, not even recognizing the impact on the future. Well, now I stand on that. Like I can speak anywhere, anytime, because I got a lot of experience doing it. And so, know that that's where you are right now. And take advantage of it when it comes to business and many other things. Now, Jeremiah, you have a pretty strong background, I believe, in this area. And so, what would be the advice that you give to Gen Z?
Man, there's so many different things, and I want to echo what you're saying. That this is the time where you start laying the foundation, because as you get to older, you start thinking about a family, you start thinking about like children, potential spouses, like. That stuff is added weight, great weight.
Great weight.
A blessing.
That's how you can go long.
Yes.
Not as necessarily as fast, but you can go long.
And it's harder to start things once you're in that position. And I wholeheartedly believe that every single person that has ever been created has a business of some sort inside of them. And there are so many different things that stops them from moving forward. They don't think that they can do it. I don't think it's possible. They don't think that they have the skill set to do it. But you can. And I wish I would have found out, understood that earlier in life.
Yeah.
I would have started a business as a teenager.
Yeah.
Because it's the perfect time. We want to go through here how and why that is.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we'll go through step by step a way that you can start a successful business right now as a teenager.
Getting practical.
We're going step by step, okay? And as we go throughout the steps, we're going to get more and more concentrated on specific aspects of building a business.
Okay.
The first one,
Get your notepad.
yes,
Or your,
yes.
whatever you write on.
Or you can watch
notes
this as
in
many
the
times
phone.
as you want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the two.
Absolutely.
So the first one, it seems super easy, but it's very, very important. The key to any great business is a great idea.
Okay.
You have to have an idea.
Yeah.
Now, this idea can come in multiple different ways. It can be you creating something completely out of nothing,
Yeah.
or it can come from you reinventing something that's already
Gotcha.
invented.
Innovation.
Innovation.
Gotcha.
Yes. So we've never had electric cars before. So Tesla was a concept. Yes, it's a car.
Yeah.
But electric cars have never been like invented.
Yeah,
if I'm
they
not
took it to
mistaken,
another
they
level.
took it to another level.
Yeah, they made it happen on a large
A
scale.
lot larger scale than what had
Yeah.
happened in the past.
Yeah.
So we have
One
the
or two
Tesla.
cars before.
Exactly right. There's been a couple of cars before,
Yeah.
but this is like it took that idea to a whole
Yeah,
nother
you see
stratosphere.
them on the road now.
Yes. So either creating something new
Okay.
or reinventing something that was already there. So I'll give you a practical example for me. So I started my business July of 2020.
Tell us about that.
So it started in 2020, and it all started with an idea that when I was growing and graduating from high school, there were some life skills I did not know.
Yeah.
And I felt as though it wasn't taught to me in a way that either I received it or it wasn't taught to me at all.
Yeah.
So from that, I said, let's create a book
Yeah.
that has strategies on how to help students mature and get from the ages of 18 to 25. Get
Yeah.
them information I didn't have.
Yeah.
So I created
Yeah.
a book that started with a blank piece of paper on Microsoft Word. And 30,000 words later,
Wow.
a book was there.
Super in depth. Super in depth.
I appreciate that. So it all starts with an idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Step one,
Yeah.
have the idea.
Yeah.
All right?
Good
So,
stuff. Have the idea.
have the idea. Number two, we want to identify the target audience and the consumer. Identify the target audience and the consumer.
Yeah.
A lot of times we want to put the target audience and the consumer together.
Break that down. Break that down.
But there are two different, sometimes they're the same, but a lot of times they're different.
Yeah.
The target audience is what you want your product or service to specifically talk to. So if you have a t-shirt brand, it's for millennials. Or if you want to make athletic apparel, it's for athletes.
Yeah.
Like they're the ones who's going to read it, write it, listen to it, wear it, whatever the product or service is.
Yeah.
They're going to be the ones to do it.
Yeah.
The consumer is a person buying the product or
That's
service.
two different things.
So
Two different
buying it
Mm-hmm.
and who it's for. Okay? So
Yeah.
if we use athletic apparel, the athletes are probably going to be the ones buying it. So there's a target audience and the consumer.
Gotcha.
But for my book, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
My target audience were high school students.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that most of the time, a school or a parent or some organization is going to be the people buying it. So they were the consumer
Gotcha.
of that product.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that?
So they're consumer of that product. So I had to write it in a way that it hit the target audience. It was engaging, it was fun, something that they would want to read.
Yeah.
But also have enough substance for the older generation to be like, this is worth giving to my student.
So you made it marketable for the consumer.
Yes.
And marketable, or at least maybe it wasn't marketable for the student at first. You made it marketable for the consumer.
Yes.
And then you made it enjoyable. Relevant. Yeah.
For the target audience.
Nice.
Yes.
I like that.
So we have the idea and we put that idea within the target audience and consumer. And here's the one thing that we cannot say. It's for everybody. That is
Unless you're selling spoons.
Well, if you sell a spoon, it's for everybody. But really not there are smaller spoons that's for my 2-year-old daughter. There are plastic spoons that's for people who don't want to spend as much, cost effective.
Oh.
Then we have the silver spoons if we're going to have a dinner.
And you got the top of the line. I see what you're doing.
So we got to break down.
Yeah.
Like, go deep. Who is this information for?
Yeah.
Who is the spoon for? And do I want it for little kids? Do I want it safe for them?
Yeah.
Do I want it for a higher end clientele?
Yeah.
Do I want it just for men? Do I want it just for women?
Yeah.
Who is it for?
Yeah.
Specifically.
That's good.
Not just for everybody. No. That's if you try to reach everybody, you're gonna reach no one.
So the consumer is like a middleman.
Yes. If they're not the same person
if
as
they're not the same person,
yes.
the consumer's the middleman.
The consumer is where you're gonna get your money from.
Gotcha. So you gotta get in front of the consumer.
Yes.
Which would you say in a business that the consumer is more important than the target audience?
And if they are more important unless you are doing a nonprofit and you're not really like
So
money
it's
is
not
not
the same
something that you
business
need. It's not the same.
organization.
Correct.
Gotcha.
But the consumer is, if you want to actually make a profit from it,
Mhm.
they are the most important. And a lot of what they want is how you present it.
Yeah. So this is okay. So y'all catch this. We're talking about business.
Business.
We're
Yes.
not talking about organizations,
Yes.
nonprofits. We're talking about business,
Yes.
aka I spend money to make money. That's what I
Yes.
This
Money
is
is a differentiating factor.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to
Yes.
profit off of this thing,
Yes.
which means I buy low, I
Yes.
sell high, ethically,
Yes.
but I buy low and I sell high. So the
Yes.
consumer is very important
Very, very important.
because that's who's
Yes.
going to pay you for it. Because you
Yes.
just can't be giving it away unless you're
Yes.
doing like a nonprofit or something
Yes.
like that.
And if they're two
Okay.
different people, we have to be kind of creative in how we do that.
Mm.
Or how we engage the consumer and the target
And they can do
audience.
that.
Yes.
Super creative.
Yes. Oh, they're extremely clear. You have
Super
those
creative.
thoughts. Don't suppress the ideas you have coming right now.
Yeah.
Those are what you're going to need
Yeah, write it
to
down.
get you started.
Pause
Yes.
it. Write it down real
Yes.
quick. All right. So we have the idea,
Yes.
and then we got identify the target audience
Yes.
and the consumer.
Yes, because that's going to dictate how you move throughout the rest of these steps.
Okay.
That target audience, like every
Mm.
decision you make is going to be based off of those two people.
Got you. So it's probably wise to go back to those. Remember,
Yes.
this is my target audience.
Yes.
Let's not veer off from this. I've had a struggle with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it can get to be real broad. And it's
Yes.
like, no, go back to that area.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And of
Okay.
course, like down the line, like later on, you'll have different branches and different limbs that you'll have off of your business. But for
Yeah.
right now,
But you gotta
starting
get the trouble.
out,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
we need to identify those two things.
Gotcha.
We have to, every decision we make is based off of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Step
we got
3.
it. Step 3.
We have to identify what we need to begin the business.
Okay.
When it's identify what we need to begin the business.
Okay.
So for this podcast, we needed some sort of camera. We needed a space. We needed an editing software.
Okay.
We needed mics.
Yeah.
Like t-shirt.
Content.
We needed content.
Yeah.
We need content. So we needed something with
And the
t-shirts.
target audience.
And the target audience and all that.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
Okay.
so we're
right.
now moving through our steps now.
Yeah.
So with a t-shirt,
Mhm.
we need a t-shirt press. We
Yeah.
need something to print them. We need t-shirts.
Yeah. We need an
We need
actual
a concept of
yeah,
the
what's
idea.
it gonna have on it? Yeah.
So we need to identify
Yeah.
what those things are
Mm.
that we need.
So
Okay.
planning before starting
Yes, is essential.
is essential
Yes.
to succeed.
Yes.
Like to have the longevity that comes from it.
Yes.
You can
Yes.
start off on a whim, I guess, selling some cookies because somebody wanted the cookies you had.
Yes.
And so you just start making them.
Yes.
But in order to go for a long period of time, you got to
Yes.
start to have.
You actually made. So I'm gonna go back. So there's a step 2B. I want to
Okay.
know
Okay.
after identifying the target audience, the target audience and the consumer.
Yeah.
There's step 2B, and that is to ask around to people that you trust
Mm-hmm.
if there's any sort of substance with this idea.
Like, will it mean anything?
Yeah, like
Does this matter?
would this even like this something that you think that you would like want?
Yeah.
And so for the target audience, like kind of have a thought or idea. You don't have to have anything on paper, but like, hey, what if I made a T-shirt that had a design of, let's say you want to do God apparel, and it
Yeah.
said, as an example of a thing that's already out there, God is dope. You think
Yeah.
that would be nice?
Yeah.
Would you wear something like that? Is that too like pushy?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
And so
That's a
just
good question.
asking people, as a consumer, would
Yeah.
you buy this?
Yeah.
So as a target audience, would you wear it?
Yeah.
Or if you're doing a podcast, would you listen to it?
Mm.
And then as a consumer, would you buy it?
Mm.
Would you want to put an ad here? If you
Yeah.
want like an ad revenue for like a YouTube content.
Yeah.
Ask around. Maybe don't tell everybody your business, but people that you trust
Yeah.
that's in those two areas, a potential consumer and someone in the target audience. Is this something that is worth me putting effort and energy
Yeah.
into? And based off of that, that can give you a pretty good idea if you just keep moving forward.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
As a creator, and we're both creators, we know what it's like to have an idea that you don't want to be touched.
Yes.
Artists, creators, it's like this is it.
Right.
Whatever I came up with,
Right.
this is it. This is my baby. And we want to protect our baby. Well, it's always dangerous to have more answers than questions. Always, whatever we're talking about,
Yeah.
it's always dangerous to have more answers than
Yeah.
questions. Because the reality is we don't know everything. So we have
Right.
more answers.
Yeah. that's
If
good.
we have more answers than questions, something's off. There's a lot we don't know about. You might not need to know enough to get something done,
Right.
but you got to have these questions there. And it's a challenge for me, but to your point, we have to ask people,
Yeah.
do you think this would be useful?
Right.
Do you think you would buy this? Because we're not the consumer.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not the target audience, and I'm not the consumer.
Right.
If I was buying my own stuff and I was the only
Yeah.
person in the audience,
Yeah. That's
I'm
good.
right.
That's a
Whatever I
tremendous
want.
point.
Whatever I want,
Yes.
I can do it. But I'm not. Jeremiah's gonna buy it. So what does Jeremiah
Yeah.
actually care about and want? I gotta ask these people that I trust.
Yes.
That's real good.
And
Yeah.
we have to, when we get that feedback, not take it